Shout out to Dr. Tiosan Johnson, BGS, Jada Black. I heard Dr. Tiosan Johnson and BGS talking about the Maya Moore, not but marriage. Was locked up in prison for something he didn't do. Couple of quick fun. She was 18 years. Pretty much is proven he did not commit because clearly they're not going to let a black man out there. And BGS talking about carry on that situation per se, but this is kind of like a jumping off point. This session with prison niggas, and I was thinking about a video that I was going through with Green Gorilla, the G with the PhD, and a comment thread he had with a guy that was kind of like, let's just say he had a dissenting opinion on some of the things that he was talking about, and I think I did share the video on the community tab, but I'll make sure I share it, and how he was low key caping for a lot of black women's choices. And the reason why I want to bring those two together is because one of the things that he said he basically alluded that square black men or black men that are not into shit like that are basically afraid of dudes like his past, and this is what it always comes back to, this shit that niggas are afraid, and at the end of the day, that's why the bitches choose them. And really all that is basically a gynocratic, brute testosterone, fucking gorilla, chest bump. Because at the end of the day, if you understand you live in gynocracy, you understand that them niggas are just as plugged into it as anybody else. They are no different. It's just they get some. It's pretty much looking at an animal that is given things that are called nigger trinkets. Let's just say pussy is the ultimate nigger trinket. Because if you get good pussy, you don't give a fuck about anything else. Black men will just neutralize themselves. And it's like giving them something to basically... and this is not about making one group better than the other. It's not about that. What it's about saying is black men... Yes, there are some black men that are hating. I'm not going to act like that just doesn't exist. But at the same time, what black men are really responding to is this idea that other black men are supposed to come in and fucking clean up the fucking creation of thuggo love, lockup love. Like, say what you want to about Arabs. If you don't follow the rules, Arabs won't even allow you to be killed by another group. Arabs will kill you themselves. They will honor kill you their fucking selves. Hispanics, for the most part, will just leave your ass out in the cold. And whatever happens. And to a certain extent, white men too. But black men, in the eyes of black men, there's nothing that a black female cannot do. Paternity fraud, whatever, there's nothing a black female cannot do that doesn't warrant some sort of forgiveness. And it's really a sort of cucking, to be honest with you. But it's not this square dudes, they're upset. It's this square dudes are like, look, I'm going to live my fucking life and I don't owe the community shit because, quite frankly, the community doesn't do shit for me. The community at no reason is responsible for anything I fucking have. So this idea that, and even black men that are sold, they say, okay, I believe that we need to have a strong black community, so I'm willing to do my part, even though the community didn't do nothing for me. Then when you ask, what is that part? What does that part require? Then it always comes back to the fucking bastards of motherfuckers basically fucking animalistic. And it's like, well, we need to help the community. No, nigga. The community needs to help itself. Because it always comes back to folks need to basically be helping other motherfuckers that are, even if those people know not what they do, like the kids, the reality is they come from parents that are still in control of those kids. It's not like, people are making the decision to rip those kids from those parents, and then the black community needs to fund a thing called, boarding school where these kids get to be molded by people that actually have made it out of the hood. That's not what's going on. And one of the other reason why I want to do this video really quick is because shout out to Dennis Sperling. Dennis Sperling is a legend. And Dennis Sperling did a video basically low key taking the head off of fucking T.I. and all of them because they want to be advocates for the black community after, and this is a guy that has the age that understands what the community was about before like hip hop really took over like that. This is a guy that obviously makes money, gets women, has been married, been divorced, has different women, different kids. So you can't say all of the arguments of he's hating, he's this, he doesn't have what these people want. That argument can't be applied. And this is why I like to promote dudes like that. But this is why you hear me always talk about Jap. Because you can't, once you remove those arguments, now what? And what you find is motherfuckers have nothing that they can say at that point. They have nothing to say. So my point is, going back to Maya Moore, black women can choose whoever they want to choose. But at the end of the day, when you start saying you want a high value man, you start calling Kevin on some, I can't get under 180 fucking pounds, but you want a dude that makes $10,000 a month. It goes to a certain type of fucking insanity, but it also goes to what you actually think, how dumb you actually think black men are. And it's so bad that even Keratin, this is how you know it's more insanity. Keratin has admitted that she finds it very difficult for to convince black women to lose weight, even for white men, which goes to show you, yes, part of it is racial hypergamy, as Dr. T.S. Johnson will talk about, and that's for some women, but for most women, the delusion is deeper than that. It's much deeper than that, and a big reason why women like the idea of getting a prison nigga, the biggest part about that is, yes, a part of it is, the uncontrolled the uncontrolled goddamn, I guess, masculinity that even society had to put him in jail. But a big part of that too is the ability to control a nigga. It's that compromise shit that Roger talks about a lot. Dudes with felonies are like the ultimately compromised dudes. I was also looking at a video of a dude. You saw me share this dude that was talking. He was talking about, but he was talking about Janae. It did a video with Janae. He doesn't, and I always like when you deal with females that are crazy like that, what dudes that don't know them would say, because obviously I know, so I can be biased. And this nigga, you got to wait to the end of the video, because the last 30 seconds of the video, it dawned on him. He was like, wait for it, and it dawned on him. This bitch is retarded. And I keep coming back to it, man. When the more and more I see her, the more and more I'm like, I don't know why you niggas think she's like bad like that. I don't like that shit. To me, anybody that says Janae is bad like that, I know you all have kind of a colorist thing on you. Because truth be told, I fucked women did look better in a fucking call when I was making $25,000 a month in a call. And I mean that shit. I'm not just saying that shit. Like, seriously, she's really not, no, man. I would love to run her picture through VGS to see what the fuck she got to say. But a lot of y'all niggas, y'all need to stop like idolizing what light skin like that. Them bitches ain't all that like that. They really not. They bleed just like another bitch does. But anyway, she was talking about why women like prison shit too, and her dumb ass said, well, these guys, they go and get it, they're ambitious and illegal, and it's like, wow, like you really mean to tell me that you cannot understand how fucked up that statement is that you just said? That these motherfuckers are ambitious and all of that shit. First of all, most black men are not in jail statistically because of drug dealing. They're in jail because of drug possession. There's nothing to do with drug dealing. And it's a wide gap. It's not 50-50. So this idea that black men that are in jail are on some fucking Tariq Nasheed shit, they just didn't have an opportunity, that's not true. Also, we glorify what an actual D-boy is. All these niggas are not Rick Ross in it. A lot of these dudes are lower grade drug dealers, so it's not even like they selling like that. They made like so it kills me. I use emotion to justify logical decisions. I get it at that level. But what this ultimately comes down to, because I'm about to end this video in a minute, is that, you know, this comes back to, again, when you hear women like Sheila that, mean well, but at the end of the day, this is the type of shit you asking us to basically come in and say. I mean, this is what it is, and this is what we see, and it's very important, in my opinion. It's important for women that really want to help the community. Your art, I think Art Kathy at a certain level gets it. These women, you all need to shit. Even Concrete Danielle, you all got to start seeing what the fuck we see, and stop looking at shit from a bitch's perspective. Because at the end of the day, if women could do it, then y'all would do it. Like, dudes are not gonna come in the community and fucking save, like, motherfuckers, we're not gonna save the community, because at the end of the day, it's not saving shit. It's really subsidizing the bullshit. That's really what's being asked. That's really what's being asked. I mean, shit, don't even get me started on BGS's epic rant, that he did. I'm sure y'all seen that video by now. Like these, and then when you look at what is quote unquote their part, which is even raising the kids that they fucking dropped, you can't do that. You can't even teach these niggas to read, even if these chicks are college educated. I was looking at shout out, and I'm gonna end it with this. I was, Kevin Samuels' last video. First of all, man, look, I'm not trying to be negative. I really isn't. That's why I didn't leave a comment. I didn't leave a comment. I didn't leave a well, and I'm gonna fall back on leaving comments on his stuff, not because anything happened, but what it is. But I'm not gonna leave a. I didn't leave a comment, and I didn't comment on the chat, right? And look, I'm sure that the person he had up there is a nice person. I'm sure I guess, but I'm like, damn. I mean, really. And see, this is where it's important for women to say, shout out to Art Kathy. This is where, I could say it, but this is something that Art Kathy, this was something that a female needs to say. Art Kathy would need to really just show how an expert in women leveling up and improving themselves. But at the end of the day, this chick looks like she's just got the blonde hair. That's dysfunction. Am about what anybody wants to say about it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Y'all, give me a second. Give me like 2, 3 minutes. All right, I'm back. I tell you, man, I'm genocide, man. All these damn flies, they think I'm joking. All right, so where was I? Like I was saying, man. It's assumed that yeah, I'm gonna see this game. It's assumed that that's what it comes back to. Really was it's not being asked to say, oh, that's what I was saying. Going back to the blonde chick. Look, man, I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not looking to shoot. I'm sure she had some great information, but my thing is, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Now I don't really date bitches that can't keep blonde weave out of their hair. And, like real talk. Like now that I look at the chicks I've dated, the black females I've dated, not a single one had that problem. I'm really thinking about it. Not a single chick I've dated, black female wise, I've dated quite a few, has had that fucking problem. Only a couple of them I've ever seen with blonde hair, and that's like once or twice. But for the most part, that is not what's in their fucking head. And I can say the same thing about my brothers too. Only once have I seen his girl. He's been in a long-term relationship for 3 years now, and just recently I saw her with fucking blonde hair, and she had the same kind of get up where the thing was through and through. And it is what it is because, like I said, it ain't like, oh, you got blonde hair. But the thing about it is, it's like, damn. And I can tell that ain't no one-time thing. And to be honest with you, I like to put receipts where receipts are. That's some AT. I mean, obviously ain't just ATL, but she's from ATL. She's living in ATL. Cause he was like, Kevin was talking about we met. I'm like, that's that ATL bullshit. Like that shit. ATL is supposed to be like one of the black meccas, and you got homosexualities off the goddamn chains. Fucking and then you see that blonde hair shit, and I'm like, that shit is goofy. It really is, and I don't know why. And it really is. It's goofy. It's goofy. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, God damn. I'm like, this shit is supposed to be telling women how to improve themselves and beautify themselves. And I'm not, notice I ain't saying nothing about Kevin picking her because at the end of the day, I mean, shit, that's what most of these chicks in Atlanta are doing. So it's like, and people will try to say, Kevin was on there saying, he was like, well, because some people were saying stuff in the chat. And that's why I'm just pointing that inside of the thought. Like in the conversation, I was like, you know what? This is your space. I mean, I'm not going to beat her up because what? Like, let's see what she got to say. And some of the stuff she was saying, but a lot of stuff she was saying was basic. It's just, okay, I need a female mouthpiece to say the same shit I'm saying. I need a female mouthpiece that's younger to say the same shit I'm saying because when a black man says, Kevin, you just said that, when a black man says that no matter what he's done, it's always going to be, how dare you say this? And I'm going to tell you something. Obsidian did a video recently, and it was a good one. One of the things that was in there, I don't agree with everything's in there, but one of the things in there, he did a play with David Carroll, and David Carroll was mentioning of Kevin Samuels as far as why, black women go to the show, and it has everything to do with the look. That's what matters. And I understand that, but at the end of the day, that's the issue with black people. Black people, they place social value and intangible value above everything else. And this is a big reason why we are where we are, because logic doesn't really matter. What matters, it doesn't, 1 + 1 is 2, not because of it is, just because who's saying it. And people don't understand how you can be manipulated by that. But anyway, so definitely check out that video with Obsidian for nothing else to get those David Carroll clips. You may have to fast forward through some of it, but it's in the middle. And he talks about, and the reason why I'm telling y'all to watch is because David Carroll was really talking about, he brought up Crystal Carrison as like an example of how she called in. And you heard how I was talking about how Kevin was calling in. Like, I rolled my eyes as soon as that shit happened, because I could tell what she was doing. And what David Carroll was trying to point out was that no matter how much these chicks do that white zaddy worship, and this is what a lot of white dudes know. That's why like white dudes don't be like really with black women like that. One of the bigger reasons is because they know, as much as they talk that shit, at the end of the day, these women, they always play both sides. They know if their women is fucking these dudes, why the fuck would you not do it if given the opportunity to get the dude that you want? And in real talk, they all have that mentality. They all have that thought process, especially a lot of these dudes that know that the only real reason you with them is because they white. They know that before anybody. White men are the least deluded about that. That's what a lot of sisters don't understand. It's nothing that has to be convinced to them. But anyway, coming back to the main topic, it's not about people are jealous. What it's really about is, look, if the conversation is that black men that are productive need to come back and basically assist in basically helping the overall community because of reasons. Well, the reality is that's not going to happen, and then the women are going to be doing what the fuck they're doing. That's not going to happen. There is no, well, black men just need to accept that black women are who they are, and black men just need to accept that and basically still do it anyway. That's not going to happen. Black men at this point, most black men are pretty much I would say a lot of black men are at the point where, nigga, I'm living my life. If you make it between my individual happiness versus the community survival, I'm choosing liberty. I'm choosing my liberty over community survival. That's what a lot of dudes are on. And it manifests in different ways. Because at the end of the day, there are no viable options that are really being provided to these dudes. It's just, you either take it or it's basically a take it or leave it. And are you really going to let the community bottom out? And to be honest with you, you see that shit with Bronny James. You see that shit with all these dudes. All these dudes are going to choose their happiness. That era is over. And even that era is over, because at the end of the day, the women of the last generation are at least smart enough to understand that you even have, to at least let these dudes save face a little bit. You can't do that. You just can't. You need the community at where and you know what? Nobody has ever. I won't say nobody, because I think Jason Black has come close, and I think he got his stuff from Dr. Amos Wilson. But most pro blacks can't make. BGS has come close too, but other than that, most dudes that say they for the community, they cannot make a tangible argument as to why black men should really give a fuck about the community. They can't make a tangible argument, because most of them don't even understand macro dynamics to the extent, because a lot of these dudes don't even believe in group economics, so they don't even understand like macro dynamics to the level that they need to, to even make an argument that way. So it just becomes about your pride on some Vegeta shit. Your pride as a community. I'm like, no. Because niggas that are getting what they want out of the community don't give jack shits about that. Anyway, let's see. Get them likes up. Hopefully I can keep this under 45 minutes. Well, it's not about and Damon Glass. It's not about punishing anybody. That's one thing. Black men got to stop having hard, quote unquote, hard feelings. It's not about being mad. It's not about punishing anybody. That's not what it's about. What it's about is doing what's in your best interest and being unapologetic about that. That's it. And it's not about being unapologetic as far as that's what you get. Blah. No, it's not that. Just like how when sisters sit there and they try to say, I'm getting a white man because black men ain't shit. No, you do what's in your own best interest. It's not like black men are sitting there saying that black women have to be perfect, but at the same time, it's about doing what's in your own best interest. And maybe it's in your best interest, depending on your own personal situation, that black females vibe with you like that. And that's fine. But it's about doing what's in your best interest and having the most options to create a custom situation that you want to create. That's really all it is. It's not about being angry or vitriol, because people will sit there and spin that and saying, oh, you're just upset. No, it's about laying what the facts are, what the pros and cons are, what the pros and cons are, and letting the cards fall where they may. And not allowing things like hope and all this stuff that's a form of manipulation for you to convince yourself to do what's not in your best interest. That's it. That's it. It's cold and calculating. That's all it is. Like for me, I made a decision that if I have children and I create a family, I want my grandkids to look like me. And everything that I do is going to be in service to that shit. Because that's me. Now I tell people about the option, but I don't sit there and be like, oh, well, you got to do it. You got to do it. That's my decision. That's all that is. It's not a problem. And my stuff services that decision. And it's not because I'm light skinned or anything like that. No, that's what I want to do, and that's it. And everything that I do services that position. This is why you hear me say intercultural dating. I'm not saying that, oh, well, I'm never gonna blame, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying though is my decisions are not gonna be governed by some bullshit, some fantastical bullshit, because I know what time it is. So when people that listen to me, it's not about being angry about it. It's the same thing when people want to advocate marriage. Okay, like Rael, he's not like married no matter what you do. He's talking about marriage we really run into sorts because we're talking about a macro problem, and he's talking about marriage is going to solve a macro problem. Marriage in and of itself is not going to solve a macro problem. Black male and female cooperation is, and marriage isn't going to fix that. That is not what marriage is not for. Making people get along. That's not what's going on. That's not what, and that's where we run into rub. But as far as him individually wanting to get married, I mean, the only thing I'm going to say is make sure you protect yourself legally. That's it. And dudes either will or they won't. And if they don't, it is what it is. That's it. He said, Damon Glass said, "Now screw the community." That's why that's why I can talk to people in the community. I could be, I could have pro-black leanings because because here's the thing, like I said before, I'm loyal to the truth first, me second, my family third. Then it comes to people that I fuck with me. Then it comes to the community. The community wants to move up on that list. The community needs to provide some incentives because, and that just is what it is. It's not hard. She does, Ed Chosen. She do got that look. And that's why and here's the thing that I would tell any nigga that would argue that with me. I would say, okay, put Janae up against an attractive white girl. Put Janae up. I gotta put Janae. Now I don't know what the body looking like, but put Janae up against I'm not saying Tommy Lauren is even attractive, even fine like that. But put Janae against a white chick, then judge her. And a lot of dudes are trying to judge her. Oh, she light skinned, so nah, fuck that. Put her against a white woman, then go. Exactly, Buck Mania. They are, most of them are low level. That's why most D boys are not making no 10K a month. Most of them ain't I don't know, people be really trying to act like that D boys just automatic. It's an idea, and a lot of that stuff has been perpetuated by hip hop. It really has. And it gets a lot of females killed. It really does. People can get mad about the Breonna Taylor situation all they want to, but Breonna Taylor would have been alive if she wouldn't have fucked with a D-boy. This is not absolving the police for anything they did at all. But it's just like saying, just because you go into a poor community looking like $1 million, wearing gold chains, everything, that doesn't mean that those people have a right to rob you. But at the same time, you can tell somebody, if you went over there doing that, that probably wouldn't happen. So it's about Darwinistic common sense. Yo, when there's no sound, that's because I muted on purpose. No, we're not. That's not the only person we're talking about. He said, I'm a hater. Let the Bunny Ruckus do her. I did a smart thing. Personally. Personally. And obviously that's a good thing she did. But my thing is don't sit there and talk about this is why we don't protect black men if that situation go left on you. Because that's simping. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying is women can deal with dudes in jail all they want to, but at the end of the day, dudes can choose not to fuck with that either. Dudes can choose to be like, all right, then if that's what the shit y'all want to be on, then y'all need to just deal with y'all own consequences. This is why when people come to us talk about what we need to do, this is the shit we see. And it's not about, well, just do it anyway. That's really what the argument is, just do it anyway. Because they have nothing else they can argue. They really don't. Or what they'll do is they'll do what Information Man does, which is smart, is he will acknowledge those challenges and then he's able to make a better case because Information Man just doesn't, he'll acknowledge those challenges. And a lot of folks won't even do that because they understand there's nothing to acknowledge. No, I mean, well, I get what you're saying, Archer, and I'm not saying that's what he was saying, but I'm saying though is, you know, I don't even like to even call it punishing. At the end of the day, the cards are gonna fall where they may. It's cause and effect. It's not about punishing, it's cause and effect. It's cause and effect. And punishing, makes it seem like, there's some anger to it. No, it's cause and effect. You do this, this is the law. You do these short-term causes, these are going to be the long-term effects. It's really that simple. And it's like, oh, and you can it's either is or it isn't. I mean, you could argue against the reality all you want to, but it is what it is. Lori Harvey. Well, I mean, Lori Harvey's lucking out so far because at least Lori Harvey ain't got pregnant. I mean, say what you want to about Future. I mean, Future, And to be fair, the only reason why come on, Lori Harvey's attractive, but she doesn't do anything. The only reason, she's basically in the right place in the right time. So it's not. That's all that is. Her mother was smart enough to not destroy herself with dealing with a mega level drug dealer, like an actual mega level dude moving weight, and she was able to snag her a simp like Steve Harvey. So she's one of the few that's been able to successfully play both sides. Like I got a question. This would be interesting. Compare Lori Harvey's mother to Blac Chyna's mother. That would actually be an interesting comparison because Lori Harvey's mother is actually the successful version of Tokyo Toni, as she's been able to get the dude, keep both dudes for what she wants them to keep. That'd be an interesting thing. Tommy looks like NBA, but she does. I mean, Tommy Lauren is attractive, but she's like basic attractive. She's not like, you know, she's the typical white chick that, is cute, that has had money. And she definitely looks like the Nashville type. I've seen those. Yeah, she definitely looks like that type. And at the end of the day, you get the typical thing where you get a typical high level dude. But the problem is, you know what Tommy Lauren's issue is? A guy like Jared Kushner, she probably wouldn't like. Because even though, as these white people say, oh, he's loaded, even though he's quote unquote loaded, the reality of the situation, Tommy Lauren is like a better she still has some of these problems. Because you just get with a dude that hits the right cues and then basically has the money and has the family and you move on like Ivanka Trump did. But Tommy's not going to do that. She's going to sit there and fuck up. And then the problem is with these Donald Trump Juniors, and the thing about it is she's lucky to get access to those types of dudes. These are dudes that have access to money. To money. It ain't that many dudes out there like that. And these dudes know that. It's a lot more white females that are on point than it is dudes like them. So they can be assholes about it. And they are. I know some of these dudes. They don't give a fuck. Because there is another bitch. Dude, like this idea that black people have of the rich incel, You broke ass, poverty stricken, poor motherfuckers. I feel sorry for you. Black people have a very like thing. Oh, the rich incel, the nigga that's got all the money in the world, or the person that's got all the money in the world, but bitches just don't want them because they need a real man. You poverty niggas. Do not no. Sorry, y'all. Shout out to Marcus. Yeah, she messed up. She messed up. And a lot of women gotta look at it like a casino. You gotta cash out. And you can't and at the end of the day, at the end of the day, man, when it comes to white women, and to see the thing that really this is what put Tommy in a box. What put Tommy in the box is that she's on this conservative public shit. So it's only a certain type of guy she can really get with. She can't get with a Hispanic. She can't get with a black. Cause her money's tied to that shit. Like her money. So she's gotta get a certain dude. But see, the problem is white women will call other white women out. And the problem if she runs her fucking mouth. Um and another thing is, well, yeah. So she doesn't have a lot of room. And so when she went and saying that shit, talk about the Tatiana. That's another thing, man. When you actually listen to what she said about the Tatiana shit, um, that's calling out women that they have no real social value, but they'll hold it up and they look good. So a lot of these dudes don't have to really settle like that because they know they got access to vagina. Because you got to understand who she's talking to. She was talking to white men. I mean, think of how funny Black China was not Black China. Megan Thee Stallion was acting when she was from what, Young Jeezy, G-Eazy, or G-Eazy, whatever. And by the way, I saw a video of Megan Thee Stallion before she got famous. And you know what's funny? What's funny is Megan Thee Stallion actually looked a little bit better before. She actually was smaller. She wasn't smaller, but she was smaller. She was smaller. So somebody told her to thicken up a little bit in order, but she didn't really have to do that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, Marcus. I could believe that she got took out because she kind of knew too much. I could believe that. Marilyn Monroe, the goddess of thoughtism. Well, there's feminism, like feminism, and then there is the sexual politicking version of feminism. I don't believe Tommy Lauren is an actual feminist. I just believe she believes in it's sexual. People gotta understand the difference between sexual politicking and feminism. Because or not even feminism, but being pro-black or any of that. Because a lot of these people are really sexual politic, and even people can even say, "Well, red pill dudes are sexual politic." Not really. Red pill, yeah, Dan, yeah, but she's not gonna deal with them. I mean, at the end of the day, she's at the age right now where, like, it's not a good thing for women to want to belonging to the streets. Here's the problem. You got women now where to them it's better to belong to, it's almost like they're being torn apart because for them, they want to belong to the streets, but at the same time, but at the same time, you know, at some level, they understand that that clock is going to run out. And when that clock runs out, you're never going to be able to get the dudes you could get before. That's what people don't understand. That's what these women keep on wanting to fight. And you hear it all the time. You hear it when they talk about, well, you can get this. No. Let's just cut to the fucking chase. You can't get in your 30s what you could have got in your 20s. True or false? You can't get in your 40s what you could have gotten in your 30s. True or false? It doesn't matter how good you look. The shit doesn't fucking matter. That is what people are telling you, and that's what y'all can delude yourself all you want to. Thank you, Marcus, for people be like, oh, she look like a man. I'm not even trying to cape for Megan Thee Stallion, but what I'm saying is, if you actually, I'll share it. I'll actually share that on my community tab. And then she was trying to rap, like, she was doing all right. I mean, but I could see why a dude wanted to pick her up as far as a rapper. But the thing about it is, and here's the thing with the twerking thing. The thing about it is that's all she's known for, and what it is, it's almost like she's just afraid to put that album out because it's gonna happen just like with Nicki Minaj. It's gonna be like, well, people, you good on other people's shit, but when it comes to actually putting your own shit together, it's really just some popularity shit. And the funny thing about it is that's proof. This idea that black men, because Megan ain't no light skin, like she's a prototypical, I mean, she's taller than average black female, but she's a prototypical black chick. This idea that black men are not looking for the prototypical black female that's fit and actually, that's bullshit. And women just tell themselves that so they can justify what they do. Thank you, CD. Thank you. I'm glad y'all, because look, man, let's keep it real. Y'all got to get off the she a dude shit, because it's like I'm trying to have a real conversation. All right. I mean, yeah, ha 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 ha, but I'm trying to have a real conversation. So just that's all I'm saying. I'm not sitting there caping for Megan Thee Stallion. I'm just saying. And it's very interesting how you see how the industry takes these chicks and turns them into a package that they think they want to be. You got to understand that music is driven by women. So the packages that they're turned into, Megan is not twerking for dudes, because black dudes are not buying her music. She's twerking for women. That's what a lot of y'all ain't understanding. Oh, whatever. Yeah, the shorter men. I love that, because at the end of the day, man, yeah, you know. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate it. This is Edward, signing off. I'll share those videos in my community stream. So check that out, and peace.